Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that. Appreciate y'all being here as the unrepentant mama's boy. Phil, I have to tell you, somebody said something the other day about, or earlier in the day, about one of our pilots, male pilots, of how little boys will see this, and a lot of them will hopefully start flying. Well, a lot of little girls might see this too. My mama flew an airplane during the Second World War. She was a pretty cool lady. I'm very proud of her. Daddy was off fighting the Japanese, and Mama lost her oldest brother, Roy, fighting the Nazis, and she did her part. 17-year-old girl, didn't have electricity till she's a senior in high school, and she flew an airplane. I thought that's pretty cool, so I just want to enter that for the record. Y'all get that one for free, as we say. But Mr. Bunce, I said that name correct. Is that right, Bunce? Maybe you do or you don't know, but Cirrus is a plane manufacturer, and they're in the Knoxville area. They're out there at the airport. They've got an important presence in my district. It's important that U.S. companies are treated fairly in terms of validation of U.S. products. I think even more now we see just the influx. I mean, you don't have to even think about the Chinese balloon, but dadgum, every time you turn a label over, it says made in China, you know, and it sickens me. What specifically can we do to improve this situation?
Well, sir, I actually fly a Cirrus, and I train down at Knoxville and everything. It's a great and expanding capability down there.
I'll let you come buy me lunch one day.
I would love to.
Well, you can't, because it wouldn't be ethical, but we'll go ahead. Go ahead.
We'll make it a cheap lunch.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if we look at foreign validations and everything, as a result of what happened during the pandemic, and particularly in the MAX, we had a breakdown in the confidence between some of our other authorities on what we do with certification. And what that did is it ratcheted up the amount of looking at basically the work that was done by FAA, by other authorities, as we go and try to validate the products. With bilateral safety agreements, we're supposed to trust each other's safety competencies. So what happens? Well, then we reciprocate, and the Canadians reciprocate, and it goes back and forth, and it makes it very tough for us to validate product. So what we would propose is that you, the Congress, ask for a report from the FAA, first of all, on what metrics they're using. First of all, if you can't measure it, you don't know if you're making progress. So if you can get a report to say, how are we making progress with validations? Are we working with our foreign authorities? But equally or more importantly is we've got to fully man with full-time employees the International Certification Office. Right now, we get told by the FAA, well, we're fully manned, but they're temporary jobs, and everything is about relationships. We all know that. That's the way we operate and get things done up here. When you go and you have confidence with your counterparts in EASA or ANAC in Brazil or Transport Canada, and we know how each other's systems work, then we can use the bilateral to its max effect, and that's how we'll make progress.
Are we making any progress?
Very slowly.
Very slowly. Is there something that we could be doing right now? Are there laws or rules we need to be passing to ensure that?
I think during the reauthorization, if you look for being able to get reports from the FAA using the metrics and timelines, how long it takes to get through the process in both directions, then that would be helpful.
I'm always worried when I see a bill up here. I've been doing this political thing most of my life, and there's a lot of studies, and they, you know, when I was mayor of Knox County, everybody wanted to do a study, and I'd pay $5 million for some study, and it ended up on a shelf somewhere. Do we have any assurance that that study will incur some positive results?
Well, I know that Mr. Bolter will attest, when you ask for something here in the Congress, the FAA needs to respond to it. And if it's a recurring request, then you can check the progress. And I know your staffs do a great job of being able to go and look at us. They'll confirm with industry that it's correct.
My staff's probably watching this right now, and they'll probably hit me up for a raise after you say that. So I'm gonna.
Yes, sir.
Well, all righty. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all y'all. And I just wanted to throw that plug in there for some of our female aviators. That's pretty cool. And there's a cool picture or a statue of Amelia Earhart upstairs, and it is really cool. I've got a picture on my phone of my mama, and it reminds me of that picture very much. although my mama didn't fly across get lost flying across the Pacific, she did her part for the effort here and saved our country. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry I went over.
Thank you so much.